Creating dashboards is an essential part of Spider Impact to help visualize performance. To start, I'll review a few dashboards that have already been developed. I'll select Dashboards and see the Corporate Performance Dashboard showing performance across various areas in the company in the format of a pyramid, timeline, container, and funnel. The Call Center Key KPIs dashboard provides a cockpit view of performance across 6 KPIs in the call center. The Intervention Required dashboard shows our red KPIs for sales and finance on the left, and those that are downward trending from the prior month on the right. I'll quickly display some other examples in different formats. The last two are tracking the performance of a couple key company initiatives. Having shown a few examples of existing dashboards, I'll move on to creating a dashboard from scratch. I'll select New Dashboard at the top. Provide a name for it, like Training. And under Starting Layout, I'll leave the default of blank and select Create. I get presented with a toolbar from which I'll select Settings on the far right. I'll start with background color, and to work with a brighter background, I'll switch from gray to white, and then return to the prior screen by selecting the back arrow. I'll then select Snap To, and I see the default is Widgets, in which a line will be drawn between widgets when aligning. If I select Grid, there is a visual grid which will help align widgets on the screen. If I select None, there's no guide to help with alignment. I'll leave the default of widgets and click away. If I wish to add a new widget to the dashboard, I'll select the plus icon on the far left to add widget. I can add many different types of widgets from 5 different sections. At the top is a section named General that includes 4 options that are global in nature. A bubble, for instance, is included here because a bubble can be added for a scorecard item, initiative, etc. The first option is the ability to add an image. I'll select Image and get presented with 2 options. Upload image is typically used for adding images that are only needed on a particular dashboard. I would select it, navigate to the appropriate directory, select the image, and click Open. However, I'll select Cancel and show the alternative option. Add Shared Image allows for the selection of images that have been previously loaded to the Files area. If they ever need to be edited or updated, I would make the revision within Files, and that change would be reflected on all the dashboards that contain that image. In this case, I'll select the latest version of the Spider Strategies logo and select Add. I can then either resize the image or move it around. Next, I'll add a text widget by selecting the plus icon again and selecting Text. To add text, I need to click within the text box, give it any naming. Let's call this Training Dashboard. And I can adjust the font along the way here. I can make this bold, adjust the font size, and so on there. Alternatively, I can add text with function names that dynamically update. And give an example of that. I'll put in some functions like Today, Calendar, and Calendar dash period. And each of these are wrapped in brackets. I'll then select Save and Done, and I'll see those values automatically update for today's date and the periodicity I've selected in the top right. I'll select Edit and select Plus, and then move on to another widget type. I'll select Embedded, which allows the addition of an external web page or image, but there are restrictions. The link must be HTTPS, and the site being added must be allowed to be embedded in other sites. In this case, I'll just select Cancel. Next, I'll add a bubble. I'll select Plus, select Bubble, select Scorecard item, expand financial and increase revenue, click on product revenue and select add. I'll move it over and select save. Now, if I had a lot of KPIs to add to a dashboard at once, I could automatically add all of them. To give an example of that, I'll select New Dashboard and then type Automatic for the name of the dashboard. If I have at least one KPI defined in the org, in this case I have 19, I can have Spider Impact create a dashboard auto-filled with speedometers, gauges, charts, or bubbles. I'll select Bubbles on the far right and click Create. Notice that all the KPIs in the Mobile World org were auto-created. If I had selected one of the other options like speedometers, I would have had all the KPIs displayed in that format. I'll delete most of the bubbles to free up some space. I'll left mouse to the left of net operating profit and release all the way in the bottom right. I'll then select the delete key on my keyboard and I'll click save. Next, I'll drag training revenue down a bit. And then I'll click on product revenue at the top. At the far right, there's an edit option, which I'll click on, and I can see a whole number of options that I can change on the bubble, like the font size, the drill down destination, what is showing on it, the background and the size, whether it should be kept in front of other objects, locked in position, duplicated, or deleted. I'll select duplicate and then move the bubble over a bit. I'll click on the first product revenue bubble, select edit, and then focus in on the option called set period towards the top. Under show, I'll change that to one period earlier and click done. The performance now reflects the prior month. In this case, that's August. To see that month visually on screen, I'll click edit, select showing, and enable period. I now see August 2021 appears there. I'll click on the second instance of product revenue, select edit, select showing, and enable period. And for this one I see September. So I'm not locked into seeing just the performance for the period selected in the top right. I can show as many different months as I want to perhaps see a trend for a full year. Next, I'll click on training revenue, select edit, select showing, and show that I can see other things like the measure value, score, and color. I'll enable just the measure value and see that that now displays beneath the bubble. Next, I'll drag the total revenue bubble down and to the right. I'll then select the top four bubbles and review some cosmetic options here. Towards the top, I have the ability to select a line and perhaps align them all at the top. To the right of a line is the distribute option. I'll click on that and select horizontally to quickly evenly align all four of those. And then I'll choose select in the top right or save. Next, I'll click on training revenue and delete it. 1 second later, I might realize that was a mistake, as I really meant to delete total revenue. The simplest thing for me to do would be to click undo to bring that bubble back. However, I'll delete it again just to show an alternative swap option, which allows me to replace an item with another. Before using swap, I must save any pending changes, so I'll go ahead and click save. In the toolbar, I'll then select swap, select the KPI I want to replace, in this case total revenue. I'll confirm I've selected the correct KPI in the top left, expand financial, increase revenue, and I'm going to bring in training revenue to replace it. I'll select Swap and Save and select Done. Confirm that total revenue is gone and has been replaced by training revenue. Next, I'll show additional widgets that can be added to a dashboard. So again, I'll select Plus and move to the Scorecards section, which allows for the display of scorecard items in the form of a speedometer, gauge, or note. I'll select Speedometer, expand Financial and increase revenue, select Training revenue, and select Add. I'll move that over. Once again, I'll click Plus. This time I'll select Linear Gauge, expand Financial and increase revenue, select Training revenue, and click Add. So here's a look of the same KPI, training revenue, in 3 different formats: bubble, speedometer, and linear gauge. Okay, to save room, I'm going to delete all the objects on screen here and click Save. Another option is the ability to add a note. I'll select the plus icon, select Scorecard Notes. This time I'm going to switch to a different org. I'll select Demos, expand Financial and increase Profit, and select Total Gross Profit. There's a note that appears that defaults to a tile format. I can either keep that, or I could change it by going into Edit, selecting Display As, and picking the alternative option, which is Full Notes. Under Edit, I do have the ability to change a number of settings, like the font size, and also a number of showing options here. However, I'll leave that as is and actually delete the note to save some room. Next, I'll click on Plus again, and I'll move to the next section, which is Initiatives. This allows for the creation of initiatives in the form of Gantt, a note, or a chart. I'll go ahead and select just one of those, and I'll select Gantt. I'll select an initiative like increase quantity of ad clicks and click Add. I'll then click Save and Done. I can then click on any bar like Refine Target Audience to see why it was in the red. I can then click the bar again to remove the details. I'll select Edit, delete the widget to save room, and click Save. Next, I'll click plus one more time here. Move to the next section, which is Datasets, which allows for the creation of a dataset table, dataset value, or filter. They require that at least one file has been uploaded to the Datasets section, which resides underneath Foundation. Once one is in place, a dashboard can be built off its contents. I'll go ahead and click on the Device Sales Dashboard to give an example of that. And I'll click Done. This dashboard shows device sales for Mobile World by employee and country. The 2 items at the bottom are dataset tables. The 2 items in the top right are dataset value widgets, and the item in the middle is a dataset filter. Our overall sales are nearly 29 million, but if I choose a department like corporate, I can see just the performance for that department. I then can click the X to return to all departments. With that, I'll show the last section available with widgets. I'll create a new dashboard, name it blank, and select Create. I'll select Plus, scroll to the bottom, and see Charts and Reports. I can add new or existing charts, but for the sake of time, I'll select Existing Chart. I'll expand charts, I'll select pyramid, and click add. I'll click on the dashboard, scroll down a bit, and see a pyramid with names and stages on the far left. If I want to change something like removing the stage numbers, I'll click on it and select Edit, and then select Edit Chart. I'll select Pyramid Labels, uncheck Stage Numbers, click Done 2 times, and confirm the stage numbers are gone. Lastly, I'll click plus, scroll down again, and see I can also add new or existing reports. I'll select Existing Report, expand Reports, and select Sales Overview. And slide that over to the right. If I need to make any changes to the report, I would click on it, select Edit, Edit Report, and if I wanted to show all KPIs instead of just sales as we're showing here, I would delete the specific scorecard item filter by clicking X and then selecting Done. I would then select Save and Done and confirm all the KPIs now appear.